So that was a bit random, but there's a good reason for it. And I'll explain. Or try to explain. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I thought this might be a good spot. Can you hear those birds? I gotta move. Okay. This is much better. Alright, so imagine that all your emotions and things you feel are on this scale. Down here is all the negative stuff. You at your worst, when you're most angry, most sad, most frustrated. And up here is you at your best day, you're most excited. Someone just gave you a present. Someone just threw you a surprise party, if you like surprise parties. And we all exist on this spectrum of emotions and feelings. Living at either extreme all the time would be hard and exhausting and probably dangerous. Most of us exist somewhere in this middle section most of the time. And also somewhere in there's a line, probably not right in the middle, I bet it's different for everybody, that would separate the good from the bad. And if you were on the good side of that line, someone asked you how you were, you'd say, I'm doing pretty well. And then if you were on the other side of that line, and somebody asked you how you were doing, you probably wouldn't be feeling so good. Overall, you'd feel negative. And because there's a spot where that happens, the difference between those two things can be really, really small. And for a really long time, for too long, I was existing on the wrong side, well, the negative side of that line, the side where most of the time I didn't feel so good. I felt overall sad and depressed and frustrated, and the last few months I've felt much better. I felt overall more happy and just generally more engaged with things. That distance between where I was and where I am now isn't very big, but the change, the effort I had to put in and the change I had to make to do that was a really big, scary change, to actually move my overall emotional state a little bit. But the difference that's made to my life, the effect it's had on me as a person and on me as a husband and a father, it's massive. It's like, it's off the charts. It's almost immeasurable. These things aren't always proportional or linear. They're more relative. And that doesn't mean I don't have highs and lows and that I'm always happy, but the overall net feeling is one of positivity and happiness. And that, after probably a few years of feeling overall negative, that's massive. That's kind of amazing. Lately, I've seen a lot of people talking about doing what you love, quitting your job, changing your life to pursue a passion, about taking a step back to take bigger steps forward. And I can definitely tell you that it's liberating and powerful, but it isn't easy. I don't want to just say, go do what you love. It's all going to be great, because it's hard. And not everyone is necessarily in a position to do it. Sometimes it can even be hard to know what it is you want to do because you've spent so long doing something that you maybe thought you were supposed to do, or that's all you know. While I agree with the people talking about that you only get one life, you only get one chance, that you need to do what you want to do if you can, I also think it's important not to feel bad if right now isn't the time for you. Because for a long time, I didn't, and I felt like I couldn't, and I probably couldn't have. It's pretty nice out here. So why did I quit? I quit because I was unhappy. I was frustrated, I was feeling anxious, I wasn't feeling passionate about my job that I've been doing for 12 or 15 years now, I was doubting my abilities. I was doubting myself, whether I was even good at it, whether I could keep doing it. So I quit to rediscover both my passion for my work and to discover new passions. So now I'm doing things like this, and I'm starting to get back into working. And while I was frustrated all those years, I was looking for other work, and I even had some interviews and some things that almost worked out. Eventually I got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't keep applying to places and keep feeling like I was just dealing with rejection, because it was just compounding that feeling that I wasn't good at my job. I don't know if you can hear that lawnmower. It was a hard decision, but it was also kind of an easy one. Hello. Hello, puppy. Because it just got to that point where staying in that job would have been worse. Hello, puppy. We're just gonna leave him alone. But why I quit is really only part of it. The biggest part was probably why I was able to quit. And that has to do with being extremely lucky. I was able to quit because I have the support of my wife and of my family. And all these things came together to let me pursue other things. So what did I do? My wife and I started a company so that it's easier for me to freelance. I built a website for myself, which I didn't have, a portfolio website, so I could see my work and other people could see my work and choose to hire me. And now I have time to do things like this, and I have time to do ridiculous things like that time-lapse video you saw at the beginning, and discover what it is that what I love and what I'm passionate about and what else I could be doing. And that's pretty damn good. If you're in a position where you're not happy and you're thinking about leaving your job, I have some advice. One is to be kind to yourself, not beat yourself up too much about these kinds of things. Number two is to be patient. If I had gotten any of those other jobs that I had applied for along the way, we would not have moved to Kingston, and along the way those things felt really hard, but it all worked out. When the time was right, I was able to take this step and make this decision. Number three is find your people. One of the things that made my job, the previous job I was at, so great for so many years was there were great people there. And obviously my family has been a huge part of this. So whoever your people are, whether it's family, colleagues, find those people that you want to work with that are good for you. 4, find something that you're passionate about. I think for me, the issue was that I was looking for the one thing, the thing that was going to solve all my problems, that if I just did this, I'd be super happy. That's not necessarily true, and not for me anyway. It might be for you. Maybe you already know what you're passionate about, what you'd rather be doing, but I wanted to try a lot of different things. And number 5 is to do it on your terms. Don't let anyone else dictate the terms of this for you. You have to do what's right when it's right for you. Not going to say it's going to be the easiest thing you've ever done, but sometimes the things that are the most meaningful are the things that are hard. I never know how to end these things. Like this video if you like it, share it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and